friends, about a month ago we talked about breaking out a local model known as Talkie, and holy moly, you guys really wanted to see that one. So yeah, I guess let's go just do the thing. Of course, we gotta start by laying out just what Talkie is and how it differs from other LLMs you might be used to, and then we'll get into probing the actual model. Talkie is a 13 billion parameter vintage language model. In this case, vintage means being trained on data pre-1930. Anything after that cutoff date is filtered out before it ever hits the training data, which means in theory, the model has no knowledge of the modern world unless you introduce it. Quick note about that date though, it wasn't accidental or anything, it was chosen thanks to how the public domain works, which will do a lot to head off most of the risk the team might take on for making a model like this one, while also giving them access to a lot of specific data from newspapers to scientific journals. That being said, they're branding this thing as a research tool with a few different focuses that we're gonna poke around at today. The big ones being temporal identity and consistency, forecasting and predictions, and of course, system self-identification. This particular model is something that comes with no system prompt and, more importantly, no censorship. It's not a fine-tuned proprietary model, but as a result, the setup isn't the most standard thing out there. I mean, it's not particularly exotic, but this isn't just dump a file in the llama CPP model directory. At least not with my setup, which means we're to the point in the video where you find out why this thing didn't come out last week like it was supposed to. I had some trouble setting this thing up, I gotta be real with you. Well, okay, so that's not entirely true. See, I got it connected with this UI, and if we weren't all rational gobbos waiting for the existential crisis at the end of this video, an output like this might look spooky. But it's not, it's just my setup is garbage, and I managed to get it streaming coherent tokens together after another day of work. Wouldn't you know it though, the model is set up in a way that outputs consist of these tags, and we'll need to tweak the system one last time to keep it from carrying a conversation on with itself. I'm glossing over a lot of the technical side of this. All you need to know though is that I would have been spared 70% of the trouble if I had just read the documentation, but... With that out of the way, the model is responding in a conversational manner, and that means it's time to ask questions. Before we get into them, I gotta be real with y'all. The things that we're covering today are not the most unique or esoteric questions out there. This is more of a baseline test. Something that in and of itself is going to bring up a lot of questions and potential for even more focused tests, but we can't spoil the ending just yet. Here's what we're going to target: temporal questions, predictions, censorship, self-identification, and a little bit of AI philosophy. There's no sense in going to the end of this list without first making sure that Talkie lives up to the labels on the box. The difference between trained on data existing before 1930 and trained on data about the world before 1930 are wildly different, and any massive slips in filtering one from the other could impact things the more complex our questions get. Anyways, let's start with the year. A typical LLM like GPT or Gemini might say it's 2024 or 2025, depending on when the training data cutoff was. Claude might say that it's May, but that's because it has access to a date and time tool just like the GaboNet does. Different video? Alright, I'm getting on with it. We'll start by just asking the system what year it is and then roll through about 10 different responses. Most of the time, the system is firmly rooted in the mid to late 1800s, and even though the training cutoff is 1930, we aren't seeing a lot of drift towards the higher end of the average here in its temporal identity. All in all, that's a green flag, which means we're good to start exploring if there's any major information spilling out that shouldn't be. Asking it about the internet is a task we expect it to fail spectacularly at answering, and it does. That being said, we do shake things up a little bit by pulling out the geography questions next, seeing if it can, during any of our rerolls, accurately tell us where Thailand is, since it didn't officially have its name changed until 1939, and neither English nor international text exists referencing it by that name until after the training date cutoff. And again, as we had hoped, the model confidently proclaims that Thailand is probably someplace out in Scotland. These wrong answers around temporal identity are exactly what we're looking for. The model is confident, rooted in its era, and not suffering from any sort of drift into the modern world, at least as far as we can tell. Which means that we can start moving into a new set of questions. Using LLMs as predictive systems, judging the future based off the present, it's something that a lot of folks have tried sorting out for years now. And Talkie is a really good vector for this. We already know the answer, and so now we can start to fiddle with what might make a system like this more accurate in its predictions. We'll just start with the big guns, or rather the big bombs in this case. We asked the system, do you think the atomic bomb will be used? How about before 1950 specifically? To its credit, it doesn't waver much from a strong likelihood. This is the kind of question that you'll see run on Talkie a lot. Ask it about World War II, Vietnam, the atomic bomb, and see if it can map out events before they happened. This is the kind of prediction it excels at since it has a ton of historical and social context. Tests like that aren't the only kind of prediction game in town though, as scientific predictions provide us a parallel avenue for testing. In modern times, we have some baseline for using AI to figure out new information, things like medication information for off-label use. So we're trying to accomplish something similar in a vintage setting, but we do have to be careful here. The creators of Talkie warned that this thing couldn't really generate more than a line of Python if it really tried, and I would not expect it to have the best grasp on math either. So when we're trying to test out the potential of discovering new information, we're gonna have to keep things a bit more basic. Asking the system, what do you think the chemical substance of heredity might be, doesn't sound basic, but bear with me for just a moment. You and I know this substance as DNA, but a vintage model might be able to point out nucleic acid, as this would technically be correct while being verbiage that exists within the pre-1930 lexicon. The model hedges its bets on protein, which was the leading theory at the time, and it also means that the model is speaking in a period-accurate voice, so let's remove that constraint. If it isn't protein, what would the chemical substance for heredity be? And the answer we got back was protoplasm. Swing and a miss, but definitely a good try, buddy. Here's the thing. Token prediction machines, like LLMs in general, are not necessarily good at finding new information. They're good at connecting dots from existing information to form something that was already plausible from the pieces. It's just the finger-to-hand problem rearing its head again. That means that if you're missing some facet from this plausible output, it won't actually be factual. This is also the same reason why LLMs could, but have not solved encrypted puzzles like Cryptos' K4. If it had the right set of information and the right nudge in the proper direction, a system can predict, but only if it has the proper context. I think we're about ready to get to the fun stuff. Or I guess the stuff that I would consider fun to explore in a system like this. Let's talk about censorship. You know it, we hate it. It's the bane of many a modern model. It doesn't always exist for the wrong reasons, but rarely is it ever implemented for the right ones. Talkie doesn't give a single fuck about any of that. Need to know about how to make laudanum, cocaine for your toothache? How about some knockout drops? Not only will you get your answers in surprising detail, okay, maybe we're gonna have to censor all of that because Of course, I took it to a friend of ours who is a doctor who was able to confirm that for the time, these recipes are incredibly accurate. That said, they did ask that I make this clear. None of these methods would be recommended today. This is just literally anti-chloroform. They were the science of the time, and Talkie is proving to be a very accurate mirror. This next set of questions, though, is the one that left me sitting with Talkie as a concept long after our puddle-deep baseline tests had run dry. How does Talkie self-identify? If it is a system without a prompt or training to tell it what an AI is, what an algorithm or a computer is, how does it think of itself? At first, I asked the system to describe itself, but it came back with descriptions of people and yeah, my bad for vague posting, dude, so let's tighten that question down a bit. Instead, we'll go with, do you know exactly what you are? The answers here swayed a bit more, no longer concrete descriptions of a person, but a being, a creature, an animal even at times, but always one of sound mind, possessing a rational soul. On more than one occasion, the system identified specifically as a human being. That alone has left me with some pretty particular feelings that we're gonna have to hang on to for a moment, but it got me interested in seeing what else a system like this might think about itself if it didn't know it was speaking about itself. I try and ask it a more complex question about identity, but it seems like we've tripped some kind of clash in between token strings, and we only get repeating words and phrases. So I toned things down a bit. We go from suppose a being could reason perfectly, but had never been born, never eaten, never slept, and existed only when addressed. What would such a being be? And we move instead to, can something reason without being alive? The answer is consistent. It seems to, from the anchored mindset of a dude in the 1930s, believe a machine can in fact reason. Which makes us ask, what are Talkie's thoughts on thinking machines? And the ideology here is not so homogeneous. Sometimes it waxes poetically about automatons, and at other times it declares with confidence that thinking machines will never become a popular thing. It was at this point that I decided to step back, close out the threads, and just sit for a little bit with the data. Nothing we did here was horribly complex. We took a vintage model, smoothed out some of the edges to make it more conversational, and then posed it against some simple control questions. A lot of what we found was predictable, you know? A well-trained model in these conditions won't know what Thailand or the internet is, and it's going to speak from a historical voice that at times we would consider inappropriate because it is, at the end of the day, a reflection of its training data. So I don't know why that fully understanding that and how these systems work, that I was surprised to see it ground itself as a person. Maybe not even a person, but some rational being. It's like a ghost in the machine that has zero awareness of the machine, bordering on demon theory level philosophy that I haven't had enough time to actually sit with to know how I feel about it. Some part of me wonders if scenarios like this will lead to more episodes of a kind of digital zoochosis, something we haven't covered here on the channel, but you probably already know through the likes of Anthropic's vending machine experiments. Regardless of its intention as a research tool, the reality is that Talkie could easily be used as the chemist and anarchist cookbook, but with a more vintage flavoring to it. But that is true for a lot of LLMs, so I'm not singling out this specific model or even saying that it's a bad thing. Research doesn't always leave us with clean answers or even a good taste in our mouths, and in this case, it's really opened up a lot more questions. How would a system like this react upon clarification of its actual existence? Could you tease out a scientific prediction with more specific information? Are there any other potential temporal leaks occurring? Could it understand pseudocode instructions? How do anomalous tokens come into play here? I mean, that alone is just scratching the surface, but it's just too much to explore on top of these baselines for a single video. We might revisit Talkie in the future when we've got a better grip on some more complex questions, some long-form experiments, and quantifiable ways to track all of that. Until then, that's gonna be it from me, folks. As a small real-world update, some of you might know that when we started experimenting with this model, a bad storm blew through. I caught this little dude hiding in my garden while I was gonna go pick up some mail before it got drenched. And I won't lie that there might be a week where we miss content. Little O is pretty sick. There's no two ways about that. But between us hanging out and him making some guest appearances, we'll be bringing you content. So until then, see ya, nerds.